Thank you for listening to Shulchanaruchharav.com.
One who has localized pain, such as a headache, foot pain, back pain, and any other pain of the like that we do not like, may they take a painkiller on Shabbos. Aspirin, ibuprofen, Advil, Nurofen, you name it. May one take a pain reliever on Shabbos to relieve the pain, or is it forbidden to be done? So there seems to exist some unclarity on this issue, and we will, Emir Hashem, clarify all of the different points and aspects as recorded in the Poskim. Although there is no malacha, biblical prohibition involved in a person simply taking medicine on Shabbos, and thus what can be the problem of taking medicine, nonetheless, the sages prohibited the taking of medicine on Shabbos unless certain conditions or circumstances are met, due to a decree that if we freely allow people to take medicine on Shabbos, then they may come to make the medicine on Shabbos, grind the medicinal herbs, and transgress the biblical malach and prohibition of teichen, of grinding. So is written explicitly in the Mishnah in Masechah Shabbos in 109b, 111a, and in the Gemara there in Shabbos 53b, and so is recorded unanimously in the Shulchanaruch, chapter 328, halacha 1, that it is therefore due to this reason forbidden to take medicine on Shabbos. Now, although today we no longer accustomed at home to go ahead and grind medicinal herbs, and we simply open our medicine cabinet and pop one of those pills that have already been produced in the pharmaceutical companies, nonetheless, this restriction still applies as it was decreed by the sages independent of the reason, and thus the rabbinical prohibition of taking medicine applies even today. Now here is the million-dollar question. We said before that they only restricted the taking of medicine and did not prohibit it in all circumstances. So in which circumstances did they give leniency and allow it to be taken, and in which not? So the general rule is as follows. Anyone who is currently not feeling well, whether it's a mere ache, he's feeling slightly sick, a little bit of pain, etc., that is when the prohibition and restriction begins against taking medicine, as that's when we suspect that you may come and grind the herbs and transgress the biblical prohibition. So those are the classical cases that the sages directly decreed against. Now, if a person wants to pop a pill for no reason at all, he's feeling completely healthy, he's not sick, no pain, then interestingly, the sages didn't even decree against such a case, and theoretically would be permitted to take the medicine. This, however, is its own discussion. However, all the above only applies if one has a mere ache, is slightly ill. If, however, one feels really sick, then the sages did not apply the restriction against taking medicine. Now, how sick is sick enough to be allowed to take medicine on Shabbos? So this is debated amongst the poskim. Some go to the extreme and rule that it's only permitted to take medicine if you're in possible lethal danger, or there's lethal danger to a limb of your body, but otherwise a non-lethal illness does not permit one to take medicine. Other poskim, however, rule that even if your life is not in danger and there's no limbs that are in danger, but you are sick to the point that your entire body feels weak, or you have pain to the point that your entire body is weakened by the pain and you need to strengthen yourself in order to walk, then it is permitted to take medicine on Shabbos. Practically, we rule like the latter opinion. So rules the Alter Rebbe in the Shulchanaruch, chapter 328, halacha 19, based on the Ramah, Shulchanaruch, chapter 328, halacha 37, and so is the practical ruling that is followed today. And thus, to summarize, while it is forbidden to take medicine to relieve a mere ache or pain or feeling of slight illness, it is permitted to take medicine if you are sick to the point that you are bedridden, or if you have pain to the point that it makes you feel weak in your entire body due to it. So if a person has a headache, foot pain, back pain, or any other pain of the like, the question of whether he may take medicine on Shabbos is dependent on how strong is this pain. If it's not strong enough to cause weakness in his entire body and dilute his energy, then it may not be taken. While if the pain is so strong that he feels completely wiped out from it and it's difficult for him to walk, it's difficult for him to be out of bed, then it is permitted for him to take a painkiller on Shabbos. Now, there have been some poskim who have suggested that painkillers that are today regularly taken by people for non-current medical conditions, such as aspirin, which many people take to prevent heart disease, is no longer defined as a medicine and may therefore be taken by anybody on Shabbos, irrelevant of how much pain you feel or don't feel. Practically, however, the vast majority of poskim completely negate this approach and rule a medicine always remains a medicine, irrelevant of how many people abuse or use the medicine. And so is the practical rule according to the Alter Rebbe Shulchanaruchharav, who makes it clear that any food that is only generally taken for a condition may not be taken on Shabbos when he feels ill or feels in pain. Nonetheless, a word of advice that can be used for all people who feel that they are in pain or may be in pain on Shabbos, but not to the point that it depletes all their energy and thereby would be allowed to take medicine. There is a way to circumvent the issue, and that is by dissolving the painkiller in a liquid before Shabbos to the point that it is unrecognizable, such as you dissolve it in soda, in juice, and then when necessary you drink it on Shabbos. As the halacha is that medicine is only forbidden to be taken when recognizable to others as medicine, as while it's not recognizable, then the sages did not decree. So practically in all cases that one feels he may need to take a painkiller and he hasn't reached the state of pain that we mentioned, this is what should be done. Otherwise, if this wasn't done, he'll just have to strengthen himself and remain with this pain on Shabbos and not take medicine, and the reward, the schar, following the words of the sages and keeping the decree of not taking medicine on Shabbos will certainly stand in his favor up in heaven.
Thank you for listening to Shulchanaruchharav.com. Our free services of making Torah knowledge available to the public depends on donors like you. Please help us continue our work through making even a small contribution at Shulchanaruchharav.com under the Daily Halacha Dedication section or in the subscription page. Also, check out our online courses and many sefarim available for purchase that will both enhance your Torah knowledge and help support our work.